prior to what we have now, specimens would get left out at room temperature for quite some time. That even with the type of track that we had before, there was no refrigeration storage on it. And it had to rely on people getting these huge racks and trays and putting them into our walk-in refrigerator. And many times that would be hours later. So whatever the test might be on that particular specimen, the specimen quality was not quite what it is now.
No matter what we did, lean-wise, we could not improve the turnaround times to what we needed to meet our customers' expectations. So we decided we needed to automate pre-analytical.
We wanted something that was going to streamline all of our sample tracking, making sure that when we start somewhere, it's going to end and we're going to be able to find our specimens. We were dealing with a lot of problems with the analyzers themselves.
Since the implementation of the Power Express, our process has changed dramatically. When the samples come through the pneumatic tube system, the processors load them uncentrifuged right onto the track. The track then takes care of receiving it into the computer system, centrifuging the sample, decapping, and then sorting it to the appropriate instrumentation for testing. Once testing is totally complete, it is put in refrigerated storage, and the person at the command central may release the result, or they're auto-verified automatically without any intervention from command central.
Reducing the number of manual steps and increasing reliable automation, it gives you a little bit of peace of mind, I think, as an analyst, to have the time to do other things.
Now all of that time is devoted to helping in some of the other departments, checking up on the QC, doing maintenance on the instrumentation.
We're able to focus more on reagent upkeep, analyzer upkeep, PM maintenance, and stuff like that, as far as freeing up more time.
Since the implementation of this track, we have reallocated our FTEs to do other tasks that we were unable to do. It used to take 5 to run chemistry, now it takes 3.
It's made it a lot easier as a technician to focus on specimen tracking and finding out where a specimen is if we need to rerun it or if it needs to be diluted.
What we are noticing with the Beckman system is that the test results are much more reliable.
And the accuracy is much better than the type of equipment that we had prior to the Beckman.
Prior to implementation, we were on the average of a basic metabolic panel took 89 minutes. Once we implemented this track, we did some studies and we found now it only takes 24 minutes.
The throughput is much quicker. That's due to both the DXI and especially the AUs.
Yeah, the AUs are doing an excellent job keeping up at the volume. At first I was a little skeptical about the racks being brought in and that might actually clog the system up a little bit, but actually it's more convenient. I mean, the samples are getting sampled faster, they're getting run faster, and we're seeing the turnaround times coming through faster. So as far as turnaround times, we're able to run a lot more tests in a smaller period of time.
When there is human intervention, there are delays, there are steps that this particular time may take 2 minutes, the next time it may take 5 or 10 minutes.
Those types of difficult decisions and human slips just don't exist when you remove as many steps from the process as we've been able to do with the track and the analyzers attached to the track.
Yeah, the quality of the results is by far much better, not just because of Remisol and because of the track system and the consistency, but also the type of equipment that we have.
The automation track takes the specimen, it receives it, then off to the centrifuge to be spun down, and then to the instrument to be analyzed. This machine has made my job 10 times easier.
This is the DXI, our immunoassay instrument. The beauty about this instrument is when it samples from the track or from the front, it immediately samples and then it pushes right back out, allowing it to go to other instruments. This is one of our 2 AU5812s. It starts here with the rack builder. The rack builder builds all of the samples onto one rack and then is escorted into the instrument. It takes about 8 to 12 minutes for the analyzer to complete the tests, and then they stay in the buffer area until they're completed. Then they are then escorted back onto the Power Express. This is our 5K stockyard. Essentially what it does is it holds about 5,000 samples and it's refrigerated. When it comes to the track, it first scans, and then the arm grabs it and takes it to a shuttle carrier where it is then archived with a particular spot. The beauty of this is it keeps track of everything that we have. So if we also have an add-on, say something that's added on to the same accession number, it'll then recall where that is, and then this arm here will grab that and put it back onto the track for sampling.
This is Command Central. This is where everything that happens on the Power Express system is controlled. We can add tests onto samples, we can retrieve samples. This is where everything that has anything to do with this system is controlled.
The person who sits at Command Central has everything at their fingertips. They have Remisol for releasing the results. If there is an instrument issue, they can access the instruments from Command Central without even getting up from their chair.
With Remisol, we do have auto-validation, so quite a few specimen results go directly through the interface. Only those things that are held up by the rules that we established in Remisol are held up for a CLS to review.
And so every sample that meets certain criteria have the same rules applied to it, and so therefore it's consistent from one sample to the next.
Previously, all of those results had to be manually observed, manually released into the interface, and all specimens had to be manually manipulated. So there was quite a bit of hands-on action with specimens almost at every stage.
The add-on process before was a little frustrating, only because we'd have a processor who would take the initial call. They would figure out what sample they needed and then what sample was being added on, and they would bring it to us and look for the sample, figure out where it is on the analyzer. And looking for that, it could take, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes.
With this now, the system is such that add-ons are occurring in the computer system. It goes and gets the sample, takes it to the instrument, runs the test, sends it back to the storage unit, and under ideal conditions, you don't even know that this has occurred.
It makes life easier for the CLS, and everything is much more consistent.
Now the CLS could focus on the samples that were problematic. They did not need to focus on these samples that were normal or needed no intervention from the CLS.
What's really left is the high-level intellectual functions of the CLS that brings them their job security. I think that that has helped people feel better about what we're doing too, is to have that confidence.